Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is an upcoming American superhero film based on Marvel Comics featuring the characters Scott Lang / Ant-Man and Hope Pym / Wasp. Produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney Studios Motion Pictures, it is intended to be the sequel to Ant-Man 2015 and Ant-Man and the Wasp 2018, and the 33rd film of the Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU. The film is directed by Peyton Reed from a screenplay by Jeff Loveness and stars Paul Rudd as Scott Lang and Evangeline Lilly as Hope van Dyne, alongside Michael Douglas, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kathryn Newton, and Jonathan Majors. Plans for a third Ant-Man film were confirmed in November 2019, with Reed and Rudd returning. Loveness was hired by April 2020, with development on the film beginning during the COVID-19 pandemic. The film's title and new cast members were announced in December 2020. Filming in Turkey began in early February 2021, while additional filming occurred in San Francisco in mid-June, ahead of principal photography starting at the end of July at Pinewood Studios in Buckinghamshire and ended in November. Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is scheduled to be released in the United States on July 28, 2023, as part of Phase 4 of the MCU. Cast: Paul Rudd as Scott Lang / Ant-Man, an Avenger and former petty criminal with a suit that allows him to shrink or grow in scale while increasing in strength. Evangeline Lilly as Hope van Dyne / Wasp, the daughter of Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, who was handed down a similar suit and the Wasp mantle from her mother. Michael Douglas as Hank Pym, a former SHIELD agent, entomologist, and physicist who became the original Ant-Man after creating the suit. Michelle Pfeiffer as Janet Van Dyne, Pym's wife, Hope's mother, and the original Wasp, who was lost in the quantum realm for 30 years. Kathryn Newton as Cassie Lang, Scott Lang's daughter. Newton replaces Emma Fuhrman, who played the character in Avengers Endgame 2019. Jonathan Majors as Kang the Conqueror, a time-traveling multiversal adversary, who is an alternate timeline variant of the Loki 2021 character He Who Remains, the creator of the Time Variance Authority TVA. Kang was described by Loki head writer Michael Waldron as the next big cross-movie villain for the MCU. Majors said Kang is different from He Who Remains, who is not in Quantumania, with a shifted psychology, portraying Kang different from He Who Remains due to the different characters surrounding him and transitioning from a series to a film. Additionally, Bill Murray has been cast in an undisclosed role. Production development ahead of the release of Ant-Man and the Wasp 2018, director Peyton Reed said there were elements of that film that leave a lot to play with in a potential third film in the franchise. He highlighted the quantum realm, which was introduced in Ant-Man 2015 and explored further in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Reed said they were just dipping our toes into it for the previous films. Reed added that he and Marvel Studios were hopeful about a third film and had discussed potential story points for such a sequel. In February 2019, Hank Pym actor Michael Douglas confirmed that informal discussions regarding a sequel to Ant-Man and the Wasp had taken place, though by that time Evangeline Lilly had not heard of any plans for her character Hope van Dyne / Wasp following her role in Avengers Endgame 2019. Lilly stated that Hope is mid-journey. I don't see her journey as being over by any stretch. That October, Michelle Pfeiffer expressed interest in reprising her role of Janet Van Dyne in a sequel, while Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige was asked about the future of Paul Rudd's Scott Lang / Ant-Man in the Marvel Cinematic Universe MCU following Endgame, and responded that the chess pieces were arranged very purposefully at the end of that film, with some. Rudd was asked whether he would be returning to the role, either in a third Ant-Man film or as part of another Heroes MCU franchise, and said that both of those options had been discussed. Reed officially signed on to direct a third Ant-Man film at the start of November 2019. Rudd was set to star as Lang, with Lilly and Douglas also returning. Filming was scheduled to begin in January 2021 for a likely release date in 2022. Reed was hired again, despite Marvel's interest in new filmmakers bringing different takes to their heroes for each film, because executives felt he had a real grasp on the Ant-Man universe and wanted to see him return to wrap up his trilogy. Jeff Loveness was hired to write the script for the film during the early days of Hollywood's shutdown due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and he had begun working on the screenplay by April 2020. At that point, it was no longer clear when production would begin on the film due to the effects of the pandemic on all film productions. In August 2020, Reed confirmed that development on the film was continuing during the pandemic. He said that Lilly would continue to get equal billing in the film alongside Rudd, as she is a very, very important part of the partnership between Ant-Man and the Wasp, despite rumors that her role would be reduced following controversial comments about the pandemic. Reed added that the story for the film had been cracked, though nothing was official yet, and said the third film would be a bigger, more sprawling movie than the first two. Pre-production. In September 2020, Jonathan Majors was cast in a lead role for the film, which was reported to be Kang the Conqueror, because the actor cast as Kang would first portray an alternate version of the character, named He Who Remains, in the Disney Plus series Loki. Kate Herron and Michael Waldron, the director and head writer of Loki's first season, respectively, were involved in casting Majors in addition to Reed and executives at Marvel Studios. Majors was approached for the role without. In November, filming was expected to start in 2021. In December, Pfeiffer confirmed her involvement and that filming would begin in mid-2021. Shortly after, at Disney's Investor Day, Feige revealed the film's title as Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, confirmed the return of Rudd, Lilly, Douglas, and Pfeiffer, alongside Majors as Kang, and revealed that Kathryn Newton had joined the film as Cassie Lang. Emma Foreman, who played the character as a teenager in Avengers Endgame, was saddened by the announcement of Newton taking over the role and hoped to be involved in the MCU in the future. Later that month, Loveness revealed that he had turned in the first draft of the script and said Marvel had used the COVID-19 pandemic break to do something new and weird with the film. Pfeiffer and Douglas both indicated that the film would be released in 2022. Filming. On February 4, 2021, Turkey's Minister of Culture and Tourism Mehmet Ersoy announced that shooting for the film had begun in the country's region of Cappadocia, with the production also set to film in other parts of Turkey. At the beginning of March, T.I. Harris was revealed to not be returning as his character Dave from the first two Ant-Man films. This news came after sexual abuse allegations against Harris and his wife Tamka Cottle arose at the end of February, but Variety reported that this was unrelated and Harris was never set to return for the sequel. In early May 2021, Marvel Studios announced that the film would be released on February 17, 2023. In mid-June, Rudd and Douglas headed to England to prepare for filming. Shooting to capture exterior shots and background plates took place at the San Francisco Police Department Central Station in North Beach, San Francisco, on June 19 and 20, with filming of the station's interior, the outward view of the building, and downtown San Francisco. In July, Joanna Robinson of Vanity Fair reported that Corey Stoll would reprise his role as Darren Cross/Yellowjacket from Ant-Man in some shape for Quantumania. Principal photography began on July 26, 2021, at Pinewood Studios in Buckinghamshire, using the working title Dust Bunny. Industrial Light and Magic's stagecraft virtual production technology, which Reed used while directing episodes of the Disney Plus Star Wars series The Mandalorian, is being used for the film. Principal photography was previously set to begin in January 2021, but was postponed due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was then expected to take place between May 31 and September 24. Will H.J. served as production designer. By September 16, over 50 crew members from Pinewood Studios Productions, including Quantumania, contracted norovirus following an outbreak at the studio. The main cast was not affected. In October, the film's release was delayed to July 28, 2023. Later that month, Bill Murray revealed he had shot material for a Marvel film with Reed, which was believed to be Quantumania. Murray explained he joined the project as he liked Reed and his work on Bring It On 2000, despite not being interested in superhero films. Before he further indicated his involvement in the film, said he could not comment on his prior statement. Principal photography was completed in November 2021. Filming was also expected to take place in Atlanta, and the production was slated to move to San Francisco in 2022 with the cast. Release: Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is scheduled to be released on July 28, 2023. The film was previously set to be released in 2022 before being officially announced as releasing on February 17, 2023 in May 2021. It was delayed to the July 2023 date in October 2021. It will be part of Phase 4 of the MCU. Future. In June 2015, Reed proposed a prequel film focused on a younger version of Hope Pym, an idea that Douglas expressed interest in by June 2018.